Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast. This is for April 25th through May 1st for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might happen to see this video after the time frame I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to see it, whenever it's time to hear the messages. Keep in mind these are general readings. Not every single message will resonate. So take what does and leave what doesn't. Without further ado, let's see what's coming up here for the Sagittarius collective. All right, Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to move you all just a little bit closer here, so I'm not reaching so far over the camera. First card coming up here for Sagittarius is the Nine of Wands. Now, Nine of Wands comes up in a couple of different ways. If we have the question of when, like when is something going to happen? How long is this going to take? How much longer is there to go? Nine of Wands tells us we are very, very close to the finish line, extremely close to the finish line. If 10 is the finish line, you're at 9, right? That's how close you are to something coming into fruition. So Nine of Wands sometimes comes up to say, look, you have come way too far. You're way too far in the game to give up right now. If you could see how close that finish line is, you would be furious with yourself if you gave up now. You're almost there. One last push here. Now, Nine of Wands can also come up sometimes when we're scared of choosing the wrong thing, or we're scared of letting in the wrong person or situation. And Nine of Wands has a lot of symbolism. Every single one of these wands is symbolic for someone who came at this guy and tried to take him down. But he was able to overpower them. He was able to take that wand away and stick it in the ground behind him as this trophy, as like this victory. And a lot of the tarot decks, when you see the Nine of Wands, the guy has a bandage around his head. He's got a bandage around his arm. So sometimes we took some hits and we might have some injuries from past battles, but we're still awake. We're still alert. We still got a lot of fight left in us. And we're ready for that last big push. We're ready for that last big battle. And every single one of those wands is experience. So Nine of Wands comes up to remind us, look, there is absolutely positively nothing new under the sun that anybody can come at you with. Every lie, every manipulation, every dirty little trick in the book, you have seen it all. There is nothing new anybody can come at you with. So as long as you're paying attention to red flags, you're not going to make the wrong choice. You're not going to choose the wrong opportunity or let in the wrong person. Pay attention this week specifically, but also just in the future, in general, in your life moving forward. Pay attention when you meet people or experience situations that remind you of somebody else or make you think of a specific situation, right? Maybe you go on a job interview and you're like, wow, this place really reminds me of that one place where I worked where my boss was super shady and they kept making supposed mistakes on my paycheck, quote unquote mistakes, and I'd always have to go and correct them, and it would take forever for them to give me the money they owe me, or they were always trying to get me to do shady stuff. Pay attention to that. Or you meet someone, man, this person really reminds me of that one ex that I had who could not be faithful to save their life. Or this one person really reminds me of my one cousin who's always trying to turn the family against me. Pay attention to that. Because that's your intuition, and that is your intuitive, energetic, that part of you that's like sensitive to energy. It's that part of you that's picking up on familiar energy and being, hey, look, Sagittarius, we've already been through this lesson. We've already had this lesson. We don't need to repeat it. We don't need to do it again. We don't need to embrace this in our life. We've been there. We've done that. So when you encounter people or situations that make you think of a specific person or situation, that is your higher self telling you, hey, this is going to be a repeat of that situation. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes, oh, this is going to be a great opportunity. I loved that friend, or I loved that job. But sometimes it's a warning, like, oh no, we don't want to do this again. So pay attention to that. It's not being judgmental. It's recognizing and picking up on familiar energy and listening to your gut. The next card that's coming up for Sagittarius is the Judgment card. When we talked about decisions, and here is the Judgment card of making decisions, making choices. Now, the Judgment card can also come up when we're answering a calling. We're being pulled in a certain direction. And for those of you who are answering a calling, the Nine of Wands can be coming up to tell you, be strong. You gotta be strong here. This might not be an easy transition to make, right? I can tell you from my experience, when I transitioned into doing tarot, that was not an easy transition to make. I lost a lot of people from my life when I did that. And so some of you may be experiencing something here where you're taking a stand, or you're going in a certain direction in your life, or you're answering a calling, and there might not be a lot of support coming your way. You might not have people in your life who are excited for you or cheering you on. You may even have people who are discouraging you from taking these steps. But the Judgment card tells us, some of you, you're feeling very guided. You're feeling this in your spirit. You're feeling this in your soul, that you're being called on this path, or you're being called to engage in a specific type of work. Some of you may be also kind of strengthening your healing abilities. Like, you might be very intuitive, but you may also be realizing that you're a healer, or you may be considering yourself to be more of a healer than anything else. And so some of you may be learning certain healing modalities, or tapping into your intuition and coming up with your own healing method or your own healing modality. But there could be a sense here where some of you are feeling called to spiritual work, or to some kind of change in your path, some kind of change in your way of life. Okay? Feeling called. The next card coming up here for Sagittarius is the Princess of Cups. Now, in other decks, we might see this referred to as the Page of Cups. So this can be a youthful or playful water sign person, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. If you have a water sign placement, it can be you kind of connecting with that part of yourself or with that side of yourself. However, the Page of Cups or Princess of Cups comes up in a couple of different ways for me in my readings. It can come up to let us know that play is a crucial part of your process right now. As much as you may be doing shadow work, or work to release things, or let go of things, play is also going to be really crucial for you. It's going to be a big part of your healing and your release. One moment here. My doggy needs to go outside. Okay, sorry about that. So as I was saying, the Page of Cups or the Princess of Cups can come up when play is going to be a crucial part of our healing process. Sometimes we get really caught up with the release, and the release can be really heavy, and we forget to restore or to replenish, to build ourselves up. And so we can do this through play. The Page of Cups or Princess of Cups also comes up for me in my readings when we're coming into a time of the heart chakra opening up. A lot of you have been in guarded energy, Sagittarius. You've been very guarded. And Nine of Wands and the Judgment card lets us know that you're opening up to receive at this time. You're opening up to receive these opportunities, this blessing to embark on a new path or on a new journey. And so this requires openness. and the heart chakra is opening up to receive. But that process of the heart chakra opening up can be a little overwhelming, because we'll feel overwhelmed with emotion. And we might be tempted to sabotage ourselves, or to give up, or to say, never mind, this is too hard. And the Princess of Cups or the Page of Cups comes up to remind us, look, just pace yourself. Don't give up. Don't shut it down. Don't push it away, but pace yourself. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take a step back from the serious, big, heavy energy and do something playful or do something lighthearted. But resist the urge to shut down, because the heart chakra is opening up right now. Sagittarius, you guys have had this ongoing theme in your readings for a while, where a lot of you are coming out of a very difficult time in your life, a very difficult cycle. And now you're opening up to blessings, and that can be very overwhelming, right? When we haven't received in a long time, and all of a sudden we're receiving, even though it's a good thing, it can feel overwhelming. So again, be gentle with yourself. If you need to take naps, take breaks. But don't push away the blessings that are coming in. Don't push away these opportunities. Don't push away these blessings. Just pace yourself, pace yourself, pace yourself. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Prince of Wands, or the Page of Wands. And this is you in your beautiful fire sign energy. The Prince of Wands or Page of Wands can come up when we feel enthusiastic, we feel inspired. Some of you are stepping into the Prince of Wands or Page of Wands energy in the sense of like a second adolescence, like you're defining yourself and your self-expression and how you're putting yourself out there to the world. Some of you are revamping your image or your style because you want it to reflect who you are on the inside. Some of you are giving yourself some kind of a makeover or some kind of like a look or a style that you're wanting to put out there. This can also be pursuing your dreams, your ambitions. As I said, it can be like a second adolescence for some of you, where you have a lust for life again. You have a drive and ambition, a sense of expressing yourself. And this can also sometimes be someone who's coming into a situation that's really encouraging us also. You may be dealing with a fellow fire sign person, or you may be dealing with a Page of Wands type person who's coming in like Sagittarius. You got this. I believe in you. You're going to do great things. Some of you are very excited because you've finally made a friend who is spiritual or who believes in the law of attraction, or who's like, yeah, we're going to manifest together, and that can be very exciting. But one heads up and one word of caution when we're dealing with Page of Wands energy. It can be us doing it, or it can be a Page of Wands person coming in and they're the ones doing it. But sometimes the Page of Wands can be overly ambitious or overly optimistic. So maybe it's like you're tempted to take some really big chances or really big risks. And you're telling yourself, it's all good because I'm going to manifest these good things. So I'm going to take big risks. Maybe for some of you, the Page of Wands is somebody else. And they're like, Sagittarius, you got this. Do it, right? Invest that money. Go and do that. Like you're gonna manifest profit. You're gonna manifest this overnight. You're gonna be an overnight success. And like they're encouraging you, and they may be genuine, and they may like full on honestly believe in you. But here's where the challenge is. They may be investing, or they may be encouraging you to take big risks or big chances. But if your opportunity doesn't come in by the time that you need it, or your investment doesn't turn around a profit by the time your bills are due, mortgage is due, rent is due. This Page of Wands is not in a position to step in and help you. They may be encouraging you to take big risks and they may believe in you. But if those risks don't pay off in time, they're not in a situation where they can step up and help you. So you have to be the voice of reason and you have to be the voice of logic. Have fun with this free-spirited energy and this optimism and this inspiration and this drive and this ambition. Enjoy it, but don't lose your head in the process to where you're doing risky stuff, because at the end of the day, you're the one who deals with those consequences, nobody else. So it's true that we have to take certain risks for change and for growth, but we want to take the risks in a logical way, in a way where we're also still allowing ourselves to have some kind of a safety net or some kind of a buffer. You might invest money, but you're going to ask yourself, okay, how much can I invest before my next paycheck comes in or before my bills are due? You don't want to go and break the bank. You want to take the risk in a way where it's still safe for you to take that risk. So the Page of Wands or the Prince of Wands here is that adventure, that excitement, that drive, that optimism, that ambition, but at the same time, stay grounded. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to deal with that. One more thing I want to say, and this is not a type of message I typically get into, especially not in the weekly forecast, because you guys know in the weekly forecast, I like to focus on you and your journey, and I don't talk about love readings so much. But I feel this is a message that Spirit is really pushing me to share. Sagittarius, if you're doing any kind of dating or getting to know somebody where you're texting, right? I know sometimes people like to send hot and steamy text messages, hot and steamy photos or pictures, but some of you need to be very cautious the kinds of pictures that you're sending or videos that you're sending, or you think you're doing like a private FaceTime or a private Zoom. Some of you are dealing with some sneaky people who want to take this stuff and post it to certain websites where they're getting paid for it. So be careful what you're putting out there. Be careful and be cautious. You think that you're having a private session with somebody, but they're taking it and they're streaming it online and they're collecting payment for it. So maybe don't do that stuff with people that you don't know really well. Or if you really enjoy doing it and you want to do it because it's fun for you, maybe do it in a way where you're not going to be identified. You know, somebody's not going to see that later and go, oh my gosh, that's Sagittarius, right? So maybe don't have your face in it. Maybe don't talk. Maybe don't have your voice in the recording, or don't have identifying things, right? Maybe don't do it at all if you don't know the person well. But if you enjoy doing it, do it in a way where you're not going to have anything out there that you don't want strangers to see. That's a very unusual message, but I just feel like I had to say that for somebody. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private message, private reading, which I'm happy to do. If you click on the link in the description of the video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love readings for April are linked in the description. Love readings for May are posted. They're up. I have not linked them yet, but you can watch them by going to the video tab on the channel, and you can check out the May love readings there. Don't forget to check out the daily messages that I've been posting as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care, Sagittarius.